some kids weren't allowed to watch, and those, that was sort of how you measured like that guy's. Yeah, a little bit. Like that guy's parents are fucking lame. They don't even let him watch The Simpsons. Like Bart was my role model as a child. Like which explains a lot.
Destroying things.
Yeah, destroying things, starting fires, running around with a slingshot. Of course, Bart had a wooden slingshot. I had that scary motherfucker you buy at Walmart that shoots
strap
ball
onto your forearm.
Yeah. Mine shoots ball bearings, and it has ammo you keep in the handle. It's literally a deadly weapon.
Yeah,
it's literally a deadly weapon. Like it shoots those solid steel ball bearings 300 feet per second. You could totally kill somebody with it, right? I had the blowgun that shoots the steel darts that would penetrate into solid wood and stick.
Yeah. I remember I got one of those like over the forearm slingshots when I was maybe 10 or something, and like going out in the woods, and I didn't have the ball bearings. I just had rocks that I would pick up. And I remember like firing the rocks and being like, oh, if they knew what this could do, they wouldn't have bought it for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like it's like chipping bark off of trees when it hits. It's going so fast.
Yeah. Although I had access to firearms from an extremely early age, I was shooting them at 4, like legitimately, like shooting rifles with my dad at 4, like 22s and stuff. Cause I can remember getting my webbing between my finger and my thumb caught in a 22 pistol when I was like 4 on the back porch with my dad, and be like, like freaking the fuck out. And then being afraid of that pistol for years afterwards. I can remember like shooting rifles with him in the backyard, like 22s and stuff. Mm-hmm. So like, it wasn't like crazy to get me the scary slingshot when I'm 8. Cause like,
a little crazy.
I had a BB gun when I was 4 as well, like the Red Ryder. Like I could barely cock the fucking thing, the one that you like cock from the like a lever style.
Yeah.
Was it? It was an air. You said air rifle, right? Not pellet gun.
Yeah, BB gun. It would shoot BBs, not pellets. It would hold like hundreds of them, and those.
I had one of those. Yeah, you just upend it, and then you fill an entire chamber with like 150, 200 BBs, and you could shoot. Like, because you had to pump it, it would say like, do not pump more than 10 times. But it was like, fuck you. Like, I wanted it to go faster.
Oh, that's the Crossman.
Way more. That's what I had. I had the Crossman when I was like 6.
The Crossman is the one where you reach to like the fore end and you can like pump it infinite times. It seems like once you get to 20 pumps or so, after that, it's not really doing a whole lot extra.
But it's hard to pump when you're a little kid. So I remember like standing there, basically like having the gun pointed like in my mouth, being like, trying to push it down again. And like nobody ever told me not to. Just like directly at my eyes.
I always learned my lessons with pellet guns the hard way. I had a lot of the Red Ryder. Red Ryder is a lever action. It's one pump. And so it's 280 feet per second. The Crossman is the pellet rifle that can either shoot BBs or pellets, and you cock it by pulling a little lever back with your index finger on the right side of the action. They're both pretty cool BB guns. Like I said, the Crossman also shoots .177 caliber pellets, and it was really accurate for like shooting birds and stuff, whereas the Red Ryder was just barely able to kill a bird, and you had to be kind of close. But every time I would point it at someone that I shouldn't point it at, which happened, or I shot something I shouldn't have shot, which happened, Dad would do the same thing. He would destroy the fucking pellet rifle right there in front of me. He would pick it up by the barrel and smash it on the ground like a fucking gorilla, and it would just explode and be completely ruined. Like he would ruin it right there in front of me. And I learned my lesson about gun safety that way. If I fucked up, if I did something stupid, the gun was gone. And it's not like we're getting a new one next week or next month. It's next birthday or next Christmas. It's next time, like it's pellet rifle shopping time. Like we're not getting a new one. Like it'll be my birthday's in May, luckily. So like it's like right in the middle of the year. So I'm never more than 6 months away from a new BB gun.
What how many do you think he destroyed? Like maybe 2?
Literally 4. Literally
It'd be
4.
fun if he did that now. Right? Like Kyle's back at the farm. He shoots at concrete. It ricochets and breaks glass. Kyle, you know the deal. Hand over the 870.
I have to return this though.
No, it became the opposite. Like especially when I would make videos. Like my mom really wanted my dad to make me stop like filming those videos over there. Like she's like, He's down. He's got the whole field on fire. What even is that they have? It's mounted on a car, Lamar. He's got a belt-fed machine gun. That's something you see in war movies. And my dad's just like, what am I supposed to do? He's a grown man. He's making money. What am I supposed to do? You want to stop him? You want to stop him? Go stop him. Go stop him. He's got a machine gun.
He'll turn the gun on you if you try and ruin his
Well, technically it's a minigun, but either way, you're fucked.
He's pretty good with that machine gun. I don't think there's anything we can do. Like basically told her that, like, I'm not gonna stop him. He's it looks fun.
Like we don't parents are different nowadays. Like or at least where I grew up. Like I remember growing up, like we used to play BB gun wars. And my mom would just come out and be like, you put on your glasses. You know, it's like they didn't shit. It's like not even full face mask. Just like wear some sunglasses. And we're all like, hey, the rule's only 2 pumps. Only 2 pumps on the Daisy. and you know, your buddy would always come over with the one that's like a one folder, you know, put it 3 inches into your flesh.
I used to pump that multi-pump one. Like I would pump my multi-pump pellet rifle, and then I'd get tired, and I'd sit it in the corner, watch some TV. And I'd come back to it later. I'd pump that. I don't think I'm getting more and more velocity. I'm sure, I'm sure it peaks at some point, but as a kid, I didn't know that. And I'd pump that thing for days. And then I'd wait till like the dove or the big prize, like Fat Bird landed on the power line. And I'd be like, today's your day, motherfucker. Like you have no idea how much horsepower went into pumping this thing. You want to know
a sweet trick with those that we learned is the one that you're talking about, the one that has the wood handle, right? And it's the long barrel, and you just put one pellet in it and in the back, and you just pump it way up.
The one I had multiple capacity, and you pulled back a little thing here, and it like cocked back, and one pellet popped into the chamber, and you closed it. But you could pump the
that's a little different.
Many times. Like the pump was out on the forward of it, and it was.
Well, we discovered that with ours, if you put it in the oven and you put the oven on 200, and you just set it in the oven for a little while and wore a glove and picked it up, you could fire a thing. It'd be like a 22 long rifle. So you just pump it up like 6 or 8 times, then you put it in the oven and just heat it up to like 200 degrees. Pull it out with the gun, just pull the trigger, and the thing, you'd get this massive plume of smoke out of the front like a musket too.
How did you discover what went into this? Oh, Mike, I'll bake the germs off this dirty gun. Like what?
I think the thinking that came out of it was we used to have an air compressor, and the air compressor got really hot when we turned it on. Like the air compressor got really hot, and we just associated, oh man, the air comes out of here really fast when this thing gets hotter and hotter and hotter, inflating, which had absolutely nothing to do with it in hindsight. But we're like, shit, I wonder what would happen if we heated up the gun. Shit, it worked amazing. And the best part was the seal. The seal held up. I don't think the seal ever died in that thing.
Yeah, I don't know exactly how those things work. A rupture just seems impossible, right?
Like it would have been funny if that thing grenaded in the but 200 degrees. We didn't leave it in there forever. We put it in there for like a minute or two once it was preheated. So it's not like it got up to 200 degrees, but still, that would have been funny if it blew.
My pellet gun experience was always bad. As a kid, I knew that firearms were dangerous, but I didn't have the same respect for the pellet rifles and BB guns.
None of us did.
So like I pointed at like my sister or something, like not like I was gonna shoot her, but just like I would be careless with it or something. And my dad would like insta solve that problem. He would solve it in 0.5 seconds. He would grab the barrel of that gun from me and smash, and it would just shatter into a billion pieces. And he'd go, "That's what happens when you treat it like that." Come on, he'd throw that motherfucker away. And he broke like 3 of my pellet rifles over the years. Every time I'd mistreat it, he'd shatter that son of a bitch. And I learned my lesson. You know, I had a lot of respect for those things now.
Because it was after the third time. Yeah.
Taylor has a point.
I'll be right back. I gotta take a piss real quick.
I got a pellet gun a few years ago. I was really excited. My gun collection was super small. My father-in-law gave it to me. I didn't know why. I just know that he gave it to me. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be cool. And I show it to Kyle. I'm like, Kyle, check this thing out. Like, I got a new gun. And he looks at it and he goes, yeah, you know, if you're not careful, you could wound a bird with that. That's how I knew my gun sucked. And it turned out
it doesn't mean it sucks. It means it's fun. It's a plinker. Like I had the same. I didn't have a pellet. There's a difference between a pellet gun and a BB gun. I didn't have a pellet gun. I had a BB gun. It is. But it was the same pumping thing like that. And it didn't kill anything. But it was. I mean, you could if you caught like a dove in the eye.
He bought it to kill like squirrels or groundhogs or something that was bothering him in his land. And his problem was like he'd spot one, so he'd start pumping, and they'd run away. Then he's like, I gotta get a one.
Things always made noise, and so like the rabbit would just hear like.
I'm gonna have to leave in the next 30 seconds or so.
If this doesn't stop, I'm out of here.
I killed a lot of stuff with my BB guns and pellet guns over the years. For those who don't know the difference, like my BB gun was a Red Ryder. It cocks like a lever action. It kick one cock. You could fill the Red Ryder up with BBs, like just fill the barrel up with them. It holds like 100 or something. So as a kid, you can just walk around all day, cock, shoot, and you can learn like instinctive shooting really well that way because it's incredibly cheap to shoot because BBs, you buy them in like a milk carton and just pour them in there. So I started with those. I killed plenty of birds with just the Red Ryder one cock. But then I got the multi-pump. That was a bad motherfucker. It could definitely kill like a squirrel because the pellets are like conical projectiles and the bases of them are shaped like kind of like a half a cup. So they catch all the, the
177s?
Yeah. I didn't have it. I always had 177. And then the CO2 powered pellet rifles are on another level. Like you kill a rabbit with that thing, it's shooting quite fast. I don't know exactly, but I'm going to guess 700 feet per second, maybe 800. And then the top tier of the pellet rifles, I think, is the ones that kind of break in half and they they break in half. Yep. There the chamber is exposed. You take your pellet, put it in there, break it back together, and those will shoot like 1,000 to 1,200 feet per second. And if you really want to, if you're into air rifles, if you get into them, they make them so you can hunt with them. Go on Amazon right now and look up Bulldog 357. You can get a 357 caliber air gun off Amazon for about $700 or $800. You can kill a man with that motherfucker.
You can get a 50 cal now.
Yeah. Of course, people hear 50 cal, and it depends on the grain of the projectile. Like 50 calibers,
Gotcha.
You know what it is. But but I've shot a lot of those things. They use the compressed air.
Like scuba compressed, like 4,000 psi. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, more like paintball, like the carbon fiber ones that they use from that. They usually take one.
Yeah, it's 3,500 to 4,000 is paintball pressure. Yep.
Yeah, they move around, but it's got a regulator on it, so it's coming out at a steady 300 psi or something, whatever they use to juice up those guns.
You get quite a few shots too, don't you?
With the big rifles, you don't. You get like 10 or 12 shots, I think.
Oh, I didn't realize it was that bad.
But it's from a container this big. They use the really small profile bottle. So the bottle's like this. The bottle fits inside of an M4 style stock. So like M4 AR-15 style stock. The bottle is inside of it, exposed, kind of skeleton style. And this thing shoots a large projectile, big enough to kill a deer or a boar or something, and it shoots it hard and accurate. They're very fun to shoot, and then they make a shotgun that shoots an arrow. They make it looks just like a double-barreled shotgun, how it breaks down and everything. But maybe it didn't break down, but they shoved an arrow into this thing, and it shoots an arrow incredibly accurately every time with air, and it's just like bang, and you're like, shit. That fucking arrow hit bullseye at 30 yards. Like this thing's fucking cool. So air rifles are something I'm kind of interested in. I'd like to take one of those to a hunt. That'd be neat.
I think these are legal in like England and the UK and stuff, right? Like that's the only kind of weapons they can have.
Yeah, they're not classified as firearms, like because they don't go by feet per second or whatever, right?
Well, they're not firearms. It's fucking compressed air. They go fast.
I wouldn't know. It seems like a significant oversight. Like.
So do black powder pistols. Look at the legality on black powder firearms in general. Like you just buy that shit like it's a can of Coke. One of those black powder pistols.
Really?
For reals. Like they don't care. I think it's 18, might be 21 with black powder, depending on the state. But like they're not treated as firearms. You don't do the same paperwork. You're like, yeah, I'd like that black powder pistol. All right, here you go. You got $200, and they're cheap as fuck. They're cheap as fuck. Like $200.
Cool though? Like, do they shoot hard? Do they I think
kill. It's like depends what you want to do, right? Like so there's different kinds of black powder too. I killed a deer once with a muzzle loader, like a primitive muzzle loader. And there's
I've fired a muzzle loader before. They're pretty fun.
Is there a big delay, Kyle? Like
small. It's really small, and it depends on the firing mechanism. Where you're using like caps, which are very much like primers, or you're using if you're going crazy with a flintlock, that would take even longer for like that powder. I know opening charge, the flash pan to get going and get everything going. But even with the modern one, with the cap, the hammer hits the cap, it fires fire down a little tube, it ignites a cylinder of black powder that you've placed in the chamber, and the bullets in front of it, and it's like snap, boom, snaps, boom. There's a quarter of a second delay between snap, the trigger pull, and boom.
Because as guns were evolving,
flinch.
Sometimes there was like I could be wrong on this, but like an entire second or more, right? And you really had to.
Oh, the flintlocks were bad. Just like had to fizzle the powder.
And the matchlocks as well. Yep. All of the you had a little flash pan full of powder that's exposed. And those old guns, they had like a burning little wick. And when you pulled, the hammer came down and just touched that wick to your pile of burning powder there, and and then goes down in and has to build up. Black powder is a slower burning propellant than smokeless powder, modern smokeless powder for sure. So it has to build up that powder, that power for the shot to happen, and you can hear it. It's like I keep doing it. It's this hiss that you hear.
Is that
right
about the time?
It's like snap, boom. It's perceivable, but in a way that you never notice with a rifle.
And is that what it was like 200 years ago? I'm probably wrong. This is what you know.
No, it's better now.
No,
okay. The caps they use now, I fired the cap style one, and it was pretty instantaneous. Like I didn't even really notice the delay. People, it was like a hammer going down, just bam, and it was gone.
200 years ago, how long did you have to stay on target? Did it take like 3 seconds?
No,
200 years ago they weren't using matchlock or flintlock pistols. They were using wheel lock. Those
I'm just on the 200 year. Oh, go ahead. Maybe I should let you finish.
This one here, I'll link you the
He's like Wikipedia, and you're like, you got this.
Yeah. Oh, so flintlock was what they had before, or matchlock rather is what they had before wheel lock apparently, and that's the one Kyle's talking, or you're both talking about, that just had that fizzling little just fuse basically as you were waiting a few seconds for it to go, or a second at least. Wheel lock. Kyle, do you have one of these? This is the one that I picture like pirates carrying, because this was around like 400 years ago or so, like where they'd carry like 6 of these in a bandolier and get like 6 shots off. Have you ever shot one?
I have not like this, but I have a black powder pistol that's
these are black powder too.
Yeah,
the only 50 caliber thing I've ever shot is a 50 caliber black powder rifle. Which, like Kyle says, like 50 cal doesn't mean 50 cal for everything. Like it's just an enormous ball that you put black powder in there and you fire it.
50 cal, all that means if someone says 50 cal is that the diameter of the projectile coming out of this weapon is half an inch. Like that could apply to anything from your black powder weapon that's shooting a little half-inch lead ball at 600 or 700 or 800 feet per second. But it also applies to a 50 BMG that's shooting like a 700 grain round roughly, thousands of feet per second for miles of distance. They're both 50 caliber rounds. What's important is how much that round weighs, what it's shaped like, and how much propellant's behind it.
I'd like to try a 50 caliber pistol. I've never shot one. I feel like that would
I'm
be
scared
fun.
of them. I'm like straight up, like I saw a dude shooting and I was like, no.
The 50 Action Express is nothing. If you want to shoot
what is that? Is that a revolver or is that a?
It's a Desert Eagle. That's the one I have. Is my Desert Eagle's chambered in 50 Action Express, but I've got a 44 Magnum barrel that I put in there if I want to plink. It's funny to say you're plinking with a 44.
Yeah, you're plinking with a 44
yeah,
Magnum.
Your idea of plink's a little different. Next level.
That's an expensive plinking session compared to
you want to talk about an expensive plinking session to shoot the 50 Action Express? I had to go get a guy to make mine, and I think he charged me $2 a shot. And as long as I bring the brass back to him or something like that, it's an expensive bullet. And that's the problem. That's the downside to doing that. Like a 50 Action Express, a 50 Smith, 500 Smith & Wesson Magnum, like guns like that are cool to shoot for a weekend. They're cool to rent. They're cool to borrow. But you don't want to drop $1,200 on this big hand cannon that hurts you when you shoot it and cost you 3 times what it would cost to shoot a 9mm. It's just silly.
I went to a friend's house and he had that the 500 Smith & Wesson, and it was on his coffee table. And at the time, it was like the fuck? Why would you have this giant hand cannon on the coffee table? I realize now that's all it's really good for. Letting people know that you have it, right? You
Conversation
don't want to
piece.
It shoots $6 bills, so...
Only 5 of them, too.
Time. I've
never really understood the concept of a slip and slide. Like all they've done is just remarketed like fucking
trash bags or something.
Trash bags, yeah.
So what it is, it's
like,
summer water fun for poor kids who don't have pools or access to swimming pools and probably can't swim.
It's something you can hook a water hose up to, and you get wet in the yard and have an excuse to slide around and have
I'll
fun.
get that. It's just that they've just remarketed plastic and then sold it.
Oh, for sure.
Well,
some of them, like some of them have like the reservoir where like the water is like shooting onto it all the way down and are kind of neat or whatever. Yeah. We never had any of that shit. We always had like a creek or a pond or that we had dammed up and made a rope swing into or something like that.
I'd say we just went into the dam and then used the plastic sheet that you wrap hay bales in, and then just put a hose at the top, and then you're done. Like
we had the curtain material that poultry houses used to use, and like in mass. So it's like a good 8 feet wide because it's meant to be folded at either end, and then it's as long as you want. Like it comes in 250-foot rolls. So we would put that stuff down. At my grandmother's house, she lived on the river, and they had taken, I don't know what it was. It looked like gigantic PVC pipes that they had cut a slice out of to make their own slide. And it went from like the top of a huge hill down into the river. So we'd like slide down that thing into the river.
That's
and
sick.
Look at that, Zach, pull up the first photo of the slip and slide. Look at how long this, it's over the horizon, the length of this slip and slide. It's pull that picture up. That's the first one I found. There's still pulling this scam on
for $36. It looks like that.
Okay, this is 22 feet long.
That's 7 steps. It's 7 steps.
Unless those kids are.
Those children must be 1
8 inches tall.
That looks amazing.
It looks incredible.
Yeah, those children are clearly photoshopped on there.
Oh, yeah. And those pads, you wear them like skates.
So Zach, go to the first picture.
Maximum
see the full length of it. There it is. Look at that. Look at that. They won't look like that.
No. And you think all those little holes are actually going to spurt? No. One of them's going to tear immediately, and now you don't have a barrier.
How long is it meant to be?
22 feet.
22 feet, obviously. Just look at it.
Yeah, look at it.
7 steps. It's 7 steps.
That's
if you're a giant.
7 meters.
If you're a man.
No, I'm saying according to this.
Oh.
This is a 40-yard dash. Oh man, it's good to see some scams don't change. China still pulling the wool over our kids' eyes for wanting fun in the sun.
I can't believe how tiny those children look. It's ridiculous.
I do have a trick for getting good pool toys, though. You know what you buy? Instead of a tube meant for a swimming pool, where they're all shit and garbage that China sells, buy a inflatable sled, like one that meant to slide down hills, and that'll last.
That does make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of the most fun and most speed I got on sleds as a kid were from those ultra cheap ones that were at the front of Home Depot, like the turtle
little disc.
Yeah, the little disc, because like no friction. You could just fly on those. Run into the other kid.
The fastest ones have the radio flyer. Is that who made them? With the metal runners.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Pool toys when I was young. We had a pool at a couple of houses that we lived in, and we all we had was a tennis racket and a tennis ball, and we used to play a game called paintball. And all you do is you'd stand in the pool and at either end of the pool, and whoever you're against, say I was playing against my brother, I'd have the tennis racket and I could use it to defend my face, and then he would serve a tennis ball at me as hard as he could, and then the tennis ball would be at my end, and I'd serve it back at him, and we just hit tennis balls at each other as hard as we could.
Okay, I play paintball.
That's like normal play. That's just how brothers play
paintball. We would play paintball with paintball guns, though. So what we would do is,
we didn't want to. We don't want to get paintballs like in the pool. So this is just like it's just
this.
You know,
this memory is exactly why. Like we were, the only shitty thing I did as a teenager, I think, was bully kids at paintball. Like we took it so seriously. I remember we went inside of a poultry house the night before. Like the backside of that thing is just a big room, basically. That you can with lighting. And we got like a certain distance from each other and took the hoppers off, and we were we'd each put a paintball in, like one paintball, and we would just sort of like, I don't know, Napoleon style, like take 10 paces, turn around. This looks good to you? I don't know. Does it look good to you? It looks a little close. Oh, does it? You think it's a little close, pussy? All right, it's fine. No, this is just fine.
And then we would like take turns shooting at each other, like working on not only, I guess, accuracy, but also not really caring about getting shot. Because I had a theory at the time that I think is still true, that the braver you are at paintball, the better. Like if you're not afraid of getting shot, the fear and the pain is all that puts people's heads down, and it's how you suppress people. But if you're not afraid of getting shot, you can't be suppressed. And if you can take these big risks, you can take big risks where maybe a third of the time or even more, maybe half the time, you get lit the fuck up. But the other half of the time, it's like COD when you get behind 5 guys aiming out a window and you're just in the room behind them like, boys. And you get those moments instead of spending a whole game like popping up and down. You get those really huge adrenaline dumps of just, I called it bunkering. I don't know what the technical term is, but when you fucking run up on a motherfucker and shoot him point blank. Yeah. Also, it's fun to shoot a motherfucker point blank with a paintball gun. You're usually lobbing and you're like, did I hit him? Yeah, he held his hand up. But if you run up on somebody, it
was also satisfying getting someone to surrender with blind fires, where like you'd be out of paintballs and you just think like, if I just charge at him and just keep firing, like he might surrender. I just say surrender. He might. And like every once in a while that would work, but most of the time
you're making the pop sound without any paint coming out. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, you just pull it and then it shoots air, and like it sounds slightly different. So if they know what they're listening for, they're like, he's got nothing. But a lot of the times they just got bamboozled, and we were also like fucking 12. So
when at my Bucks Day, what do they call it in America? The bachelor's party. Yeah. So we went up to my friend has like a fairly large property, and we got all paintball guns and stuff up there, and we went up and we got these like rubber like riot control balls for the paintball guns, and they fucking hurt so much. Like we were just like lacing each other with them. And while we're there, one of my friends, he's a bit of a dumbass. He always gets hurt, and he mid-fight like lifted up his mask to like do something, like rub his face or something like that, and he got shot like directly in the eye with a paintball, and he fucking ended up having to go to hospital and almost lost his eye.
It's bad.
Yeah, you got to leave the mask on. That's what they stress so much.
They do stress that. But we played this game mode where we made up this game mode where like, okay, it's two ends of the field. And there's a chair in the middle of the field, this plastic chair. And if you're sitting in the chair, you're invulnerable. So you can stay there as long as you want. If you get shot, you don't have to run back to the respawn point. But everyone can shoot you, and you're sitting there in the open. And one of my friends, as Carl was saying, was completely unafraid of being shot, sat on this chair and just obliterated our entire team and just got fucked up. Like he had like 20 dudes just unloading full auto with rubber riot control balls at his nuts. And he's just like, whatever. Just like,
he's got a heart of a champion.
It's not quite that at all, but at Living Legends, which was the big scenario game we'd play in, on the final, most of the game was played over a lot of acreage, woods and small buildings and all sorts. If you can imagine a paintball, like what it is they've got like 6 different mini fields, and they open them all up into a giant field for the big scenario game. So you get this varied combat thing. But on the final day, they have one side's on the left side, one side's on the right, and we're talking about 2,000 or 3,000 people. And in the middle is a hill. And the hill is such you can't see the enemy unless you crest that hill and look over it. So it's almost like from a medieval war field or something like that. So you're arcing the fire blindly. And I mean, everybody's arcing. They must sell so much paint. It's the final day, too, so get rid of it. And it's just sailing over like artillery. And if you're just standing over there in the open, it's raining around you. So like there's no choice but to walk through the rain. And I mean, it's sparse, but then when you get to the front line, it's because what's on top of that hill is how we make points. You have to hit a slapstick and make it go from red to blue, and now your team has a point. Well, going to the top of that fucking hill isn't just suicide. You're not, it's not about if you get hit. I think you hit it many times.
Have you hit it, right?
Hell no.
No? Oh, okay.
Nah.
I at one time, at least, I was brave enough to go for it, but I don't think I was ever talented enough to move it.
Woo, I wasn't going up there. Because what happens when you go up there, not only can you kind of hurt yourself, like run it, it's a very steep thing at the peak. So I would see people run and they'd hit the thing and they dove. But they dove to the other side of the hill, and now
there aren't just 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50 people shooting you. There's hundreds of people shooting at you, and the refs have to jump on you like an MMA fighter and save you with their body. They have shields and stuff. They have to come save you from the punishment you're taking, and they're quick about it. But it's still, I can't remember who I saw who had went for it, but you can tell what side of it. It's like a sunburn. You can tell which side of them was facing the damage. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay, so there. Oh, and this is when you fell and rolled over and exposed your butt. Okay, like because they're just eaten up, like they're almost touching all the paintball welts, and like that to me is that's no fun.
I remember that exact time and seeing everybody charge up there, or not everybody, very few people charge up to the top and stand and be like, even watching, I'm like, that's not fun. That's not what I'm here for. I'll wait for some idiot on the other team to do that, and then I'll get some easy shots in.
Or when your team does it, you suppress as best you can.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And then you'd see people like take their $20 paint grenades and then throw those and not work. You'd see a lot of that.
Dude, that's hilarious. I think smoke is another thing too, where it's like, he threw a smoke bomb. If you look carefully, you can see a little smoke.
Yeah. You would get more smoke from lighting a 20 on fire and throwing that on the other side of than
they
you would
were
from
bad.
the smoke grenade.
I think they make good smoke grenades because I watch some airsoft shit every now and then and sometimes I see actual smoke grenades. It's like, okay, they're not going to be able to hit them if they run across that path now. That's when it works well. When you've got to cross from like one building to another maybe, and like just making the alleyway smoky so that they don't know when to shoot, so they either got to just fire continuously or they're kind of fucked. Like, but out in the open, the idea of smoking that field, nah.
It's like
what are we doing?
Fields.
Yeah.
What are we doing? You need a forest fire.
You can have yourself and 200 of your best friends throw one, and it wouldn't be enough to cover you.
Not in my experience, anyway.
They
I don't
need
know what they got now.
Proper for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much is a real smoke grenade? Like a legit one?
I don't know that you can even. I don't know.
Is that something you can't buy?
That's kind of what I was thinking.
Did you mean Kyle can't buy or people?
No, human. Like
I meant people. Yeah.
I don't need.
Can't buy anything.
Yeah, I can buy all sorts of scary stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know much about smoke grenades. Like spear guns.
I think
that would be cool. Getting into spear guns.
Oh, wait.
Spear guns.
Kyle, have you bought your sword yet?
No, I have been looking at swords.
Kyle's going to be a sword guy now.
I'm a sword guy.
Sword guy.
First of all, it's swordsman. Let's get this straight.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna become like.
You'll make your way there. You're a student of the blade first and foremost.
Okay.
You're gonna become like a reformed virgin. Like just stop having sex. And wear
that's the reaction that I'm not looking for. That is what has stayed
would you
my
like
hand.
Is that buy it on Amazon? People bought this also enjoy fedoras.
Yeah. No, it'd be like Japanese kimonos and butt plugs or something that bought katanas. Cool. Yeah, I liked those guys. I like those guys we were working with there. They were all real chill. Paintball people in general are just real chill people. Like, I don't know. I've never met anybody who was in the paintball industry or business who like wasn't a cool guy. Like in the gun industry, like every now and then you meet somebody who used to be like special forces or something, and like killing a dozen men like apparently does something to some people where it's like, this guy doesn't have a sense of humor anymore. He just has dead eyes. And it's like, fuck, that guy's got dead eyes. Do you notice how he didn't laugh at any of our jokes? Yeah, he has no sense of humor anymore. It's been fucking murdered out of him.
Yeah, he's killed it.
Yeah, he was in Somalia. He killed his sense of humor right after he took out that band of refugees.
Yeah, he was that guy in Black Hawk Down who barely survived in that helicopter.
I met a guy like that, and it was a situation where there were two guys who were partners, and one of them had all the toys and the other had all the property. And the toys were on the property for storage purposes, and the toys were immense. Like we're talking about a museum worth of like tanks and artillery pieces and very rare military stuff.
That's awesome.
And the guy who owned all the toys
super fucking cool guy. One of my favorite people in the world still. The guy who owned the property is Mr. Deadeyes. And it's just like every time he'd come around, like there was no more fun to be had. Like when he's not there, we're all just like laughing and joking and like, let's shoot a cannonball over those trees. It's like, yeah, that'll be great. Let's just shoot it into the trees and let's see what it sounds like. Yeah, nothing's over there. Oh, let's shoot a machine gun with our dick. Ah! And then Mr. Deadeye shows up and it's just like, are you guys about done? I gotta get home early tonight. I got some killing to do.
Yeah.
It's just like,
I gotta make sure nobody at home's having fun either.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Sure.
He was like, make sure.
That.
I noticed that one of those bowling balls got rather close to the boathouse. That's not insured, so if anything is damaged, it'll have to be covered on your end. And I'm just like, yeah, no problem. I'll pay.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, whatever you say. I mean, does it need some repairs just in general? I mean, I can help with that. You know, like maybe,
yeah,
maybe a fresh paint, maybe a fresh coat of paint just for the fuck of it, right? I can handle that. You can get some bear. You like bear? No, you're a DuPont man. All right, no problem at all. Like a beige.
Bear? No, I hate bear. Never buy bear. No,
no, sir. That's commie paint. That's what I say.
That was a test.
Better dead than red. No thanks. Fucking scary motherfucker. Like
just too intimidating and unpleasant to be.
Oh, and he was a big dude too. Like he was probably like 40, early 40s. I would say 42. Like big special forces beard, real thick barrel chested guy. He just, his hands were so big. He had that fucking special forces ring he was wearing. It was just like, just screamed, "Don't fuck with me." Just such a scary human being.
And the other guy who had all the toys. So I bet this guy didn't really play with the toys. He played.
No, he didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
No, it's a business to him. Like he didn't give a fuck. Like a lot of the guys that are in the gun industry, it's a passion. It's a passion to them first, and then a business second. Like if we can make money doing this, oh, that's all the better. But come on, guys, this is gonna be fun, right? And it was like it's fun to work with people like that because we're of the same mind. It's like, yeah, we're here to have some fun today, you know, like. We're going to make some money doing it, but fun is kind of like the important thing. Like, cause if we're having fun, it looks fun. It's entertaining. Like that's kind of what I was going for. This guy was just all business. When he was there, you couldn't have any fun. And it was scary that he was around. Cause like, you know, I want to do silly shit.
Yeah.
I want to do silly shit.
You don't want some strict, basically parent or teacher looming over you while you're playing with tanks. If anything, it's going to make it more dangerous because now you're on edge. Now you're not feeling free and loose with the rules, with with the fun guy. You know,
like fun guys will be like, you'll be like, hey, what if we drove this thing to McDonald's? And the guy's like a 50-year-old man. He just gets like this glint in his eye. He's like, oh, that would be so cool.
That would be so cool.
And I'm just like, it would, wouldn't it? It's just like, well, you know, I'm 25, 26. He's like 50, and he's like, yeah, that would be cool. And I'm like, well, let's do it. Let's fuck it. He's like, yeah, let's do it now. I'm like, well, not right now. I gotta film the other stuff. But yeah, later. He's like, when? I'm ready.
It's like, but Kyle, I'm hungry for McDonald's now. He's like, no, it's a video.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just a lark right now.
On that drive, we were both wearing these headsets and throat mics. I don't know if you're familiar with that technology, but like the throat mic is like taking the it sits on your throat. And so it's not something you speak into. It sort of like takes the vibration from your throat and turns it into words that go into the other guy's headset. That's and it's really, and when you're in a tank or a really loud APC or something like that, you need something like that because even if this microphone were right here, if I'm in that tank or like out the hatch, you know, in the gunner position, the sound is getting muffled. You're catching so much diesel sound and road noise and stuff. It just doesn't work. With that throat mic, it cuts through all of that shit and just gives you perfect communication between the two of us. And he's driving the thing and I'm back there in the gunner position. And I wish I could remember exactly what this goofball said. Fucking great guy, but he was just like, he was like using like military speak. He was like, all right, this is the commander here. We're all set. Gunner, you ready to go? I'm just like, yes, sir. Ready to go. Gunner in position. All right. We're going to put her on in gear. Head on up north down 75. Everyone ready to go? Locked and loaded? Yes, sir. Load her up. And fucking like, and like,
so he's just having a blast
cosplay.
He's
just having a blast. That guy got his license taken away for DUI. And so
stuff. He didn't lose all his tanks.
No, like his driver's license,
like his like explosive toy license.
Fuck that. He's way too rich to ever lose that shit. He's crazy rich. Yeah. He lost his driver's license, but he owns so much property that like if he wanted to like get somewhere, he owns so much property that he could just drive from his house through his own property and kind of get there. He's not going
out of the woods towards Walmart, like from his property over there.
He gets in his armored personnel carrier and just tears through shit. He's just like, fuck it. You don't need a license to drive an armored personnel carrier on your own property now, do you? And if you did, who's gonna check? And he's just driving.
Nobody, because I've got an armored personnel carrier.
Yeah, so he's just driving his APC, like ripping shit down, going through the woods, tearing through saplings and all sorts of nonsense, just ripping ass, heading to like the border of his property where I guess he'd get out, and then I think he wanted to go to the liquor store. Like he just, he's a man like to drink.
You mean he liked to get good and liquored up and then go fire bowling balls too close to the lake house.
That's a different guy, but yeah, pretty much. All those guys do. All those guys like to have a little fun.
They like to get drunk and then shoot tons of fun guns, I'm sure, in new and exciting ways.
Yeah, and do dangerous shit.
I'm sure. Yeah, what a life. To own that many free toys, not free toys, but own all those toys, have that much space, all your own activities. You ever just, if you're that rich, like you ever just decide like, he's just one day like, you know what? I watched a YouTube video. I'm really into working out now. What I'm doing is I'm a freestanding, 2,000 square foot steel structure, and I'm going to buy a bunch of state-of-the-art gym stuff. And then he can just like 2 weeks later be like, this is stupid. I'm bored of this now. I'm going to build my own liquor store or whatever the hell he'd want.
A lot of those guys are like that. But the thing is, they've already gone through every hobby imaginable, and they just have it. They just have it. It's like, oh yeah, I wish we had a dune buggy. He's like, what kind of dune buggy would you like? I have 4. Yeah. Each one better than the last.
Yeah, that was just like 14 obsession.
Yeah, exactly. Like they just have like all the toys that a man could want. Like anything that a guy would be into ever. It's like, oh, you like dirt bikes? Which one would you like to see? Oh, you like off-road, like side-by-sides? I have the best of them. You like helicopters? Yeah, I own one. Jets? I have 2. It's just everything. All of the toys are there.
I had a kid, like a friend of mine, who like genuinely scared me when I was like 13 or so, because I went over to his house and he was like talking about how cool it was to take a ton of styrofoam cups that his mom had and melt it in this acetate and then like make napalm. He was very into the military. He ended up joining the Marines later in his life. And I remember like even like being like an immature like 12, 13-year-old being like, there's no way we should be doing this. Like this is scary, man. Like let's just throw M80s at birds. We're not going to hit them, so there's no guilt. It'll just pop. Like you'll throw it at it, it'll miss and land, and then pop, and the bird will fly away.
So what was he doing? He was just dissolving the styrofoam and the gas. He was
dissolving it in the acetate, and then it was like a sludgy mixture, and then he wanted to do something with it, and I was like, I'm let's just play something else. And I did not engage with whatever that ended up being.
I want that guy on the show. Like where's he at these days?
He's still a very close friend of mine. I could talk to him for you.
He died in a car accident last year, 140 miles per hour. Yeah, he was on fire when he did it.
No, one of my closest friends to this day. Shout out Tim. How you doing, bud?
Shout out Tim. Yeah, nothing like making a little napalm in your younger years. No, that's just fun to play with.
No, he's a fun guy.
I was always doing stuff like that, like starting little fires. I discovered quickly that you could take primers and shoot them with a slingshot, and they would explode on impact, like a big explosion.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, and I had tons of them because primers are the thing that go in the back of a shotgun shell. It's what the primer hits and the firing pin hits, and it's what initiates the bang. So it's an impact sensitive little explosion. So you could just shoot them with the slingshot at a brick wall and a big pop. It was a lot of fun.
And I know you and I and Woody to an extent did stuff like that. Filthy, what were your go-to childhood activities? Were you a kid like me that just like every day after school you went into the woods and like played with friends?
Fires.
We did a lot I'm trying to think of it depends on the age group, but we did a lot with like water balloon stuff. So we had like I had a 3-man slingshot for water balloons that we
one person on each side.
Yeah, you had to like brace. As little kids, you had to full on brace, and you get one person to pull it back, and it stretched like 6 foot back and launch them like half a block kind of deal. And we would shoot them we cracked a friend's house like paneling with water balloons from the street kind of deal. So this was like middle school, right? And they were like it was some game like you had to like assassination or something, right? A lot of that kind of stuff. So a lot of running around town on bikes with slingshots and water guns and stuff.
Did you ever egg houses?
Didn't do egging too much.
Yeah, I did. I didn't like indiscriminate egging. I felt like that was
needs to be
real
tactical.
shitty because you're getting people that like maybe it's old people who can't really properly clean their home. I always thought that was real shitty. I remember like I knew some guys who like threw tomatoes at an old person's house and they got caught and they made them clean it up. And I was like, yeah,
good.
Even at like 16, I was like, yeah, why are you fucking throwing tomatoes at old people's homes? Like why don't you come with us and throw them at Dusty's house? That's the cool shit. And
harass your friends, not some innocent.
No, it was someone we didn't like. It was not a friend.
Oh, harass your enemies.
I lived across from 18th hole.
That guy's dead. He killed himself
for a little bit of time during that same time period. And we could do it behind my house. We could launch a water balloon from behind my house over the house onto the 18th hole. And we do that occasionally, which was a lot of fun.
How far of a distance was that? Was it like two of you like arms like struggling to hold it out while the other guy pulls back?
Yeah, absolutely. But like, actually, it couldn't have been I lived across from that. I don't remember where we shot it from. We wouldn't have been as stupid to do it directly from the back of my house, but it was that idea. Arc it over the house where they couldn't see you and try to hit golfers with water balloons. So
we would do stuff like that with I know exactly the launcher you're talking about because like we had the people we had used. So at the time I was like 15 and we had a pool at our house at the time with a diving board, and it wasn't like a super long pool or anything. And we thought like a fun game because we had been throwing water balloons at people who would jump off the diving board and we'd try and hit them before they got into the pool and pop it. And they would try and jump in, but not just to dive. You'd have to go up and like dodge it and everything. And we were like, oh, let's use the launcher. And so we stood at the base of this pool. And we had also figured out that if you only put like a third of the amount of water in the balloon, it went so goddamn fast. And so like we smoked a friend of mine in the back that it looked like he got hit with like a beanbag gun from a police officer because we had me and the third biggest guy in our group as the two holders because we were the most solid, and then we had the fattest member of our friend group, Michael, do the pullback because we were 15. That kid was like probably 320 at the time, and so he went fullback, and he was not a great shot. He nailed that one guy in the back, got a huge bruise. We all got a laugh out of it. And the next shot, I think he got overconfident, and he shot too low. And so you know how liners and pools are. If it's a liner pool, it's like this kind of soft, pushy thing on the side. It's not like a tile pool. He shot this little water balloon so hard, it missed him, the person he was shooting at entirely, went under the diving board and slammed into the liner, and it split the entire liner of the pool. It was such a big thing. It sounded like a lightning crack and went pop. And then like I was like immediately like, oh no, and I like ran over there and checked. Like an enormously expensive problem has appeared, and I have to then amp up the courage to be like, okay, how am I going to talk to my dad later? How'd you break the liner of the pool, Taylor? Well, we were shooting. No, I can't leave like that.
We were throwing.
That's
what
not
happens to the ground? What happens to the now? The liner's not supposed to leak. What happens?
So the liner split. So there's still concrete behind the liner and everything. It's just the liner with the foam to like make it more comfortable to walk on and push off of. But yeah, it split that probably a couple feet.
That's all the liner does, make it comfortable to walk on. I thought it was part of the waterproofing of the pool.
Well, that too.
It is part of the like. It's not going to drain your pool, but like if we would have left that just hang out and open, it would have like let water back behind there and get in it. But thankfully, it hit at that top area and split it laterally, and so we were able to like tape it and kind of get it fixed up a little bit.
The water line,
barely. Well, I guarantee some water got in there.
My dad was my dad
it was above the water line after it drained. I'm sorry, Kyle.
Yeah, and for my dad did not get as mad at me as I thought I would. That was one of those where I was just like, damn, made out like a bandit. Gonna do this again.
My dad was playing a risky game of fetch using a beer bottle with the dog, and I guess like he's throwing it into the pool, and the dog's like grabbing it back and like jumping in the pool. And one time he threw it too far and hit the other end of the pool. The beer bottle shatters, of course. And then I think they got most of the glass up, but then when they went, the automatic pool cleaner thing has like glass between it and the floor of the pool, so it's just ruining the whole bottom of the pool overnight, like just ruins it. And so he just got that completely replaced. They had to, completely drain the pool, tear the old liner out, put the new liner in, and fill it again. I don't know how you guys fill pools, but like we always called a fire truck to like come in immediate, like do it in one big thing.
We just did a hose, and it took days.
You can do? Truck?
No, you just call them. They'll bring you a load of water.
You requisition fire truck?
What? You can do that? Never heard of that in my life.
I mean, what you think? There's fires all day that they need to be putting out. They'll come for anything. You got a cat in the tree. You got they're happy to.
I'm
going to
call the fire department and be like, "Hey guys, my pool's a little low." So
offer them $50. They'll be right there.
Get out.
Hi, firefighters.
That's too low.
Right? Maybe you don't have cool ass firefighters like you do here. Maybe that's a problem. But
we had
here, they fucking show up, and I remember like the first one time they did it, and they dumped this. I don't know how many gallons it is. Call it 20,000 gallons of like rusty water into the pool. And he's like, "No, good. You got to take that back and bring me some good water." And I think they actually did. I think they took it back and brought him good water. Yeah.
Your family's just wasting public dollars. Just
it's water. I don't look. Maybe water is
sometimes I call the police department just because I'm lonely.
Do you remember 900 numbers? I know Woody does, but like, do you remember 900 numbers? Because you and I are on the cusp of when they like stopped being a thing.
I've never used one.
I have. When I was a kid, somehow we found one, and we would call it whenever we were at a payphone or any kind of phone that wasn't ours.
Mm-hmm.
And just to hear like, "You've called sexy Brittany's fuck line. Mm-hmm. What do you want to get into today, big boy?" And we just laugh at that, or we'd press 1 and be like, "All right, now put your credit card in," or whatever it says. But yeah, people today may not know, especially some of our listeners. There used to be these numbers. I think there were 976 at first, and then they ran out of like 976 numbers, and it became 900 numbers. And this shit was $2 to $3 a minute, or even more in some cases, to like talk to someone. And it could be anything. Usually it was a girl who wanted to talk dirty to you. She didn't want to. She was getting paid to do it.
Yeah.
I guess it's all women. And she would talk dirty. She'd talk dirty to you for $2 or $3 a minute, and they were charging your fucking phone bill the whole time. And it was a real fucking problem for some people, like an addiction. But there were other ones too. Like you could call.
Boring addiction.
There was a Nintendo line you could call if you were having a hard time. If you were stuck in a Nintendo game, you're like, "Dude, I'm on World 8-7 and Mario is just not getting over this hill." They're like, "Oh yeah, there's a secret mushroom you've got to," like there was a guy on the other end of the line who would walk you through that shit.